Yeah, I think I fixed the stream, guys. Changed the quality. So the quality is not going to be as great. But I think I fixed the stream. I think I did. What's up, good people? I guess I won't record this. We'll go live with it. All right. Thanks for bearing with me. This is this is technical difficulties, but you know what? Y'all rock. All right, let's go into this, okay? Do me a favor, share this video. I will make all the update notations later on, so definitely. Let's talk about this in Tulsa. Let's go. Yesterday, you guys woke up to this yesterday. You woke up to one of the posts that I had here, this right here. You guys woke up to this yesterday. And what it says reclaim hope. It was a banner that was hanging on LL Tisdale Highway in Tulsa. That particular banner said reclaim hope. It was on the pedestrian bridge. You can walk right across on it. And so I had someone to send me this banner. One of our advocates and allies, they sent me this video and this image. And actually what's so crazy is that I was like knocked out when they sent it to me. And they was like, yo, Mark, you gotta look at this. And so I looked at it and I was like, does it say reclaim hope? I was like, sleep for real. Okay. And he was like, yeah, it says reclaim hope, but under the bottom, it says Patriot Front. And so I was like, oh snap, because I know about Patriot Front. Patriot Front is a neo-Nazi group. And so I immediately made the post to you guys to make you guys aware of it. And a lot of you guys responded. You said that you didn't see anything wrong with it because it was using something that was uplifting and something that was nice and kind. You know, people felt as if that it was generating hope messages and stuff. And so when you look at it on its infancy, it looks as if that it's reclaiming hope. I mean, that's what it looks like. And so a lot of people were kind of taken back by that because they were like, well, I don't see anything wrong with what exactly is wrong with it. So, I mean, I had to kind of educate people and you know, give people information in reference to who is behind this. And so if you was watching television yesterday, you saw a lot of talk about this, especially local talk, because, you know, the news jumped all over it. I mean, rightfully so. This is something that's happening, especially dealing with the mobilization that we have seen all over the country dealing with white supremacy. We have seen that type of mobilization. We've seen it. And so we were like, okay, we have to do something. So, you know, I just put it out there in social media. You guys did what you're supposed to have done. And rightfully so. You guys knocked it out of the park. You guys were spreading the news and you getting it out there. And we had a person to decide. He came down and he said, you know what? I'm going to have somebody take it down. And that's what they did. They had someone to take it down. And that's what they did. They took it down and people were excited. And then we found out that someone had a bookstore. And this is what they came this morning with, this particular flyer, you know, and they post this at front of their bookstore. One of the citizens found this stuff right here at the bookstore, in their bookstore. This is their business. They sell a lot of inspirational, uplifting literature, also literature in dealing with the LGBTQ community. And the owner of this bookstore is a part of that community, and he felt like he was targeted. And so they posted this yesterday along with posting the banner. So here we have this in itself. So they're showing people who they are. And this same time this occurred. And so again, that made the news. And, people were talking about this. This is something that needs to be talked about across the blogosphere and also in America. And so a lot of people were shocked. A lot of people felt as if that, why is this happening here? Why is this happening in Tulsa? We're peaceful people. We're peaceful. This should not happen here in Tulsa. Well, you know what? I say this all the time, but Tulsa does not live on an island. We are not oblivious to things that don't occur here. We have things and we have racism that is here. And actually, just 2 days ago, it is August the 10th, the Patriot Front on their Twitter page posted this. This is on their Twitter page right here. It says, activists place stickers around Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay. So they're very proud of their work that they've done. Place stickers around Tulsa, Oklahoma. And if you see here is a Twitter feed. August the 10th, 2019, a couple days ago, just 2 or 3 days ago, they went around posting this, and they're proud. They're very proud. And I want you guys to understand that these people are very, very, very proud of what they're doing. And so a lot of you guys were probably saying to yourself, I don't know about the Patriot Front. All I know is that Marq Lewis said, and a lot of people say, and the neo-Nazi said that it is a hate group. Well, they also have a manifesto. I'm going to bring this manifesto up on here so you guys can see their manifesto. I guess you can see it here. But let me make it full screen so you can see it. And I don't want to be going so fast, so I want you guys to get all this. This is their manifesto. I read just a little bit of it. It says, the time of the republic has passed in America as the system grows too weak to perform its duties. The damage done to this nation and its people will not be fixed if every issue requires the approval and blessing from dysfunctional American democratic system. Democracy has failed in this once great nation. That's another thing. But let me just go over here and it talks about black people. An African, for example, may have lived, worked, and even been classed as a citizen in America for centuries. Yet he is not an American. Okay, I'm not an American according to them. He is, as he likely prefers to be labeled, an African in America. The same rule applies to others who are not of the founding stock of our people, as well as those who do not share the common unconscious and permeates throughout our greater civilization and European diaspora. Some people said diaspora, I say diaspora. Okay. I thought that was very fitting. But anyway, so this is their we don't like you manifesto that they have this on their website. Even the Southern Poverty Law Center has listed them as a hate group. So I want you guys to really, truly understand what you're dealing with. And that's why I kind of break things down so you guys can understand it. What you're really dealing with, what you're dealing with is a massive hate group, a group that is funded. Somebody's funding this group because, come on, these are not people who don't have jobs. And trust me, I believe that there are some law enforcement. I have not put my finger on it, but I guarantee you there are some high and powerful law enforcement officials and high and powerful officials that's probably a part of this group or know about this group. And I want you guys to be very, very, very aware of this group lurks within Tulsa, Oklahoma. And also it probably lurks, and this is just a chapter, probably. They have probably a national, and they gain their notoriety through after Charlottesville. And you guys know we're coming off an anniversary for Charlottesville. They gained their notoriety from Charlottesville. Will, you said, remember the group like this or small cannot stand when they are outnumbered. Rise up, call it out. Absolutely. And that's why we are doing what we're doing. And we saw this yesterday, and but we wanted to make people aware. But I got a ton of phone calls from people or from individuals who were saying that I did not know. And I'm just in shock. I'm in shock. And I think a lot of people are in shock because they are afraid to leave their home. They are in shock. They are afraid to turn around and leave their home. They don't know what's going to happen. They don't know if someone's going to shoot up the place. They just don't know. And so, rightfully so, I can really understand why people are upset. I get it. But I want people to be vigilant. I really do. I want people to be vigilant. All right, let me go on to my next story here. And this just actually came out here. Let's go here, right here. FBI agent finds 25 guns, 10,000 rounds of ammunition in Boardman teen's bedroom. He's a teenager, ladies and gentlemen. In his bedroom, they found this. In his bedroom, they found this. Now, let me just read this here. Let me highlight it here so you guys can see it here. This is the stuff that they found here. All right, it says here that try to blow it up so you guys can see it. It says here a 6-month investigation into an 18-year-old Mahoney County has resulted in the arrest on charges of threatening and assault a federal law enforcement officer. The investigation started in February when agents found comments online from a user who discussed supporting mass shootings. According to the court documents, the user posted a threat to assault federal law enforcement officers, writing, this is what he wrote on this blog, shoot every agent on sight. In the discussion of the Branch Davidian cult of Waco standoff in 1993, and those who know about Waco, what happened within Waco, there was FBI agents that were shot by the Branch Davidian cult in Waco, Texas. And also it goes on here, it says agents met with Justin Olson, he's 18 years old, who gave them written consent for a search of his car and his bedroom. This is what they found on August 7th. Agents reported they found 10,000 rounds of ammunition, camouflage clothing, camouflage backpacks, 15 rifles and shotguns, and 10 semi-automatic pistols. And he's only facing one charge for a threat posted online. Only one charge. Only one charge, y'all. One charge. That's it. One charge. I, for the life of me, do not understand how this one individual can face just one charge and all of this information that could possibly happen. I mean, why does a normal person need that many weapons? Why is that? You know, what are we missing? I'm confused. What exactly are we missing to have that to occur, to have this person to own that? And I didn't think that you can own handguns unless you're 21 years old, but he owns 10 handguns, all those rounds of ammunition. I mean, let's just say he's not going to go hunt. Okay, let's just put it out there. He's not hunting, y'all. This man is not hunting. What he's doing, somehow he made a threat. He's gearing up for something. All right, guys, let me go on to my next story here. Let's talk about this. You guys have been online talking about this case, this story for the longest. And it's Saturday morning, we woke up and we heard about Jeffrey Epstein. And we found that he had committed suicide. And if you guys don't know who Jeffrey Epstein is, Epstein, however you want to say it, you guys may need to figure that out. Do some research on your own. I'm not going to recap who he is and why he was in prison and why he will actually gone to jail, who he's connected to, and all those different things. There's a lot of conspiracies out there, so I don't want you guys to flow in the conspiracy arena. I want you to find out exactly why he was in jail, why, and all those different things. So do your own research in finding out about Jeffrey Epstein. So we woke up to some news on Saturday, that he had committed suicide. He committed suicide in jail. And we were kind of shocked by that, you know, and soon as that happened, boy, everybody and their mama were making all of these assumptions online. We were saying that, you know, the things that he was going through, could it be? I mean, the conspiracy theories just was flying. They were flying left and right. So that was on a Saturday morning. And we're now hearing that the Attorney General, William Barr, is pissed. He is upset. He is very pissed because this situation has happened. There is some conspiracy out there that he went to go visit, but that has not been confirmed. But he's pissed. He's pissed. And what we're finding out now is that he ended up reassigning the warden. He reassigned the warden. He also took the two guards. They reassigned them all within a couple of days. Okay, it looks as if that my stream is now glitching. I'm sorry, guys. My goodness. I'm so sorry. Because I got this one good thing I want to really talk about. Hopefully it will pick up. I'm so sorry. It's glitching. Just bear with it. Hopefully it will pick up. It's just technology, y'all. I mean, bandwidth, all of that. That plays into a role. But hopefully I just go on and I finish with Jeffrey. So Jeffrey, we don't know exactly what happened, but they have launched several investigations on him. What we're finding out is that there's a lot of questions. There are questions on how did this happen? And so a lot of people have been questioning, like, okay, suicide happens all the time in jails. We have seen people commit suicide often in prison, in jail, and nobody gives a damn. Why all of a sudden now people want to give a damn about it? So, I mean, those are things that people are questioning. Is like, okay, why now? Well, because he's rich and powerful. I mean, let's just be honest with you. He had connections to a lot of very wealthy people. People knew who he was. People understood exactly who he was, and he had major connections to it. So that's what happened to Jeffrey Epstein. I'm going to probably close the stream, guys. I'm sorry. I really am sorry. Oh man, I'm sorry. I don't want you guys to go through the glitching, because that can be annoying, because I hate watching people who glitch a lot too. So I'm so sorry. So thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to really do this show justice, but what I'm probably going to do is end up recording something else and uploading it so you guys can see this. All right. Have a great night. Thank you for bearing with me. I apologize. I'm sorry. Okay, guys. Thank you for joining tonight's show. This is my upload. So if you're watching this, because the stream was really glitchy, so I went ahead and recorded this so it can just go ahead and upload so you guys can get it. All right. Let me give you guys this case here. Let's talk about this case here. And let me put it on the screen here. This is it right here. It says an American with no medical training ran a center for malnourished Uganda kids. 105 kids died. So let me guys tell you about this story here. This is a crazy, crazy story. This woman here, her name is Renee Botch. And let me just give you a short down version of Renee. All right. Renee started she felt compelled, as usual, like a lot of people feel compelled, to go out here and to help the world, right? We all feel like we have that calling, that internal calling. So at 19 years old, she took a trip to Uganda and she felt like it was her calling. And in her words, this is what she said. She said that she felt like she needed to serve the community. She needed to serve God. She felt the call by God. So what she did, she went to Uganda and she started a mission. She started a charity called Serving His Children. She started this charity, and in this charity, she literally talked about how she was just feeding malnourished children. She was in Uganda in the city of Jinja. It's Jinja. So if anyone knows, hopefully I'm pronouncing the word correctly, is Jinja or Jinga or however that happened. About 2,000 people would come every month to just get food. And so she was running that, and she was first. Only thing she was doing is just going ahead and feeding kids, just feeding kids. And then she got, let's just say, a stick up her ass that she wanted to do more because these kids are so malnourished and they just need my help, and I needed to pull on God and all those different things. And that's what she did. She pulled on God, I guess. I don't know. And she started another nonprofit organization. And with this nonprofit organization, she wanted to go out there and do more. She wanted to treat the malnourished kids. She hired 3 Uganda nurses, and a lot of their sicknesses range from tuberculosis, intestinal parasites, stage 4 HIV, and also malnourished pneumonia. But she was only equipped just to handle the malnourished part. She has no medical experience. I want to put that out there. She has no medical experience. So what she wanted to do and what ended up, it failed for her because during her little tenure, she basically had kids that died. Let me bring this up on the screen here and talk to you guys about how many kids literally died in her care. She felt this call in 2011. Here, let's just highlight this. She said, this is the part that kind of got me. And we talked about the malnourished part. Let me bring it up full screen. She talked about it. It says pneumonia, intestinal parasite, tuberculosis. Many had stage 4 HIV. Also, it says, this is the thing that got me. It says almost every week a child would die. Almost every week. You guys see this? Almost every week a child would die. So she's 22 years old and she had a lot handling on herself and all those different things. So she has this kid, and this is the thing, and I'm going to bring this picture up to you, and I just forewarn you guys, it's a very, very, very delicate picture. So this is the image that she was helping a child, the baby, and she ended up thinking that the child needed a blood transfusion, and she was completely wrong. The child ended up dying profusely and all those different things. And so she had helpers, and her helper was like, listen, this is enough. And she was running this operation without a license. Absolutely. She was running this without a license. So this lady takes upon herself, because she found that she pulled on God and she felt like she was in the right place. But the arrogance in her mindset was simply that I'm giving them something. Something is better than nothing. Well, honey, you were killing people. This is what you were doing. You were killing folks. That's exactly what you were doing. You were killing people, but yet and still we want to sit around and act. So there is a lawsuit going about her. There's a lawsuit, and we understand that she is back in Virginia, and this lawsuit hearing starts in January 2020. And I will be watching this case because I'm guaranteeing you that this here is going to be big. This is big, and a lot of the people in Uganda are very upset about this because they feel as if that she needs to atone for the deaths of these children and these kids that she had in her care. And she has no medical experience, and now she's back in Virginia. She says, oh, it was just too much, but she still has this organization in Uganda. As a matter of fact, they took her license but made her to be on a partnership with them. And this is a mess. This is crazy. This woman is responsible for killing 105 kids. 105 kids. She has not gone to jail. She has not been sanctioned. She has not been nothing. So you guys got to watch this case. Hats off to the advocate. Let me go ahead and bring her up on the screen. Hats off to her. She was actually a worker who volunteered, and she actually quit. Let me bring her name up here on the screen here. And her name is, oh my, I'm going to tear this name up. I know I am. But this is her beautiful sister. She used to work, she's an attorney, is Prima Koala. I hope I'm saying that right. But anyway, so she is the one who's taking on the legal suit, the civil suit in reference to that. Okay. We will be watching this case, guys. This case is crazy for this person to be responsible. And this is one of the things I wanted to really talk about because the stream wasn't holding up. But this woman here, let me bring her back on the screen. This woman here is responsible for 105 people dying, 105 kids dying. This woman here, Rebecca Buck, she's 30 years old now. However, she started her quote unquote mission. She started her mission or her charity at the age of 19 years old. That's what she did. And she's now back and nothing has happened to her. Not one. And the people in Uganda are very pissed off because they feel as if that if this was a Ugandan going to America and doing this to their children, she would have been in jail. She said it wouldn't even last 2 hours. All right, guys, let me go on to my next subject here. This subject here, I definitely want to talk about this. And this is what I was trying to get to before the stream was jacked up. But this is what I wanted to get to. Okay. The NRA has always supported white people. That's right. NRA has always supported white Americans. That's what they always supported it. Don't believe me? Okay. Now listen. Let's talk about this. Let's just start off with this. I want you guys to remember something. You know, we're talking about all of these shootings and that had just happened, all of this horrible shooting. We are now hearing from 45 himself, and he is such a clown that he's going to go out there and say, oh, it's mental health. It's mental health. It's mental health. This is what he's want to say. Oh, it's mental health. That's the problem with what has gone on. It's just mental health. It's mental health issues. So a lot of people are like, well, is it really mental health? Or are we just going to use that as a scapegoat? Listen, Donald Trump himself, a lot of people have forgotten about the fact. Let me bring this on the screen. Donald Trump himself rolled back an Obama rule. An Obama regulation, let's just go here. President Trump, let me just highlight it here because so you guys can see this. President Trump responded to the El Paso and Dayton mass shootings by insisting Monday that the mental illness pulls the trigger, not the gun. But shortly after taking office, he quietly rolled back an Obama era that would have made it harder for people with mental illness to buy guns. I want you guys to really, truly understand that. He rolled back that that particular legislation. And he had a Republican House, and it says here, let's go up here. It says, and it came after the House and the Senate, both of which were Republican controlled at the time, passed a bill, House HJ Resolution 40, which revoked the Obama-era regulation. The bill was sponsored by Representative Sam Johnson, a Texas Republican who retired at the end of 2018. Now, Donald Trump is out here touting that it's mental illness. It's mental illness. But he takes away something that could have protected people who have mental illness to have accessibility with guns. That's right. And what's so interesting is that the NRA is like at one time saying to themselves, okay, yeah, we can truly understand how this is working out. We truly can understand how this could happen. However, let's talk about some history here. Let me talk about some history because I want you guys to see this here. I want you guys to see this. Here you go. Here's the story. It says the NRA supported gun control when Black Panthers had the weapons. That's right. NRA, for those who do not know, let's talk about some history, okay? The NRA supported a legislation. Let's just talk about Black people in California, in Oakland, where the Black Panther originated from. Black people wanted to freely express themselves in the streets because they felt like the police were not doing it. The police were more tyrants, so they wanted to protect their own neighborhoods. So they loaded up as many firearms, rifles, and that they can have, and they marched in the street. They marched against the legislation of Ronald Reagan, where Ronald Reagan wanted to condemn open carry guns. Isn't that crazy? In Oklahoma, you getting ready to have open carry as a law. And guess who backed them? The NRA backed them. That's the crazy part. The NRA backed Ronald Reagan's legislation because they did not want open carry. Absolutely. I want you guys to really understand that. They backed the legislation. Now, I know you guys are probably sitting back saying to yourself, what? Why would they back a legislation? Listen, because black people had guns. Read this. Let's go here. It says the law, I can just blow it up here. It says the law was part of a wave of laws that were passed in the late 1960s, regulating guns, especially to target African Americans. And this is out of his book. It says, including the Gun Control Act of 1968, which adopted the new laws prohibiting certain people from owning guns, providing for beefed up licenses and inspections of gun dealers, and restricting the importation of cheap Saturday night special, which is the small guns that were popular in black communities or urban communities. That's right. The NRA backed that. In contrast, we're talking about the contrast of today, that how they don't want to back any legislation dealing with it. But now back in the 60s, they backed legislation that helped phased the strongest gun lobbyists in America today from the state of California. We have seen this happen all the time. And it's amazing. It's truly amazing to see this happen. But what's interesting is that the fact that it did happen, and because it did happen, we are today ever grateful, because it shows how the NRA has backed legislation that wanted to have protections of minorities not having guns in their pocket. That's the crazy part of all this. The NRA did just that. They did not want black people having guns. They were very afraid of that. They were very afraid of black people owning guns. So the NRA worked along with Ronald Reagan people to turn around and say, you know what? We want to do something to help shape something differently in our community because we are just afraid. So the Constitution of the Second Amendment says this. It says a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So that argument has just gone back and forth, and I'm not trying to do with this argument here, but I'm just talking about the fact that the NRA was backing the legislation, not because it was infringing upon their rights. No, because black people marched to the Capitol. They marched to the Capitol with firearms in their hands. Here's a picture. They marched to the Capitol with firearms right there in their hands, and they were escorted out. And so the NRA was like, oh, we can't have black people doing this. It's 1967. We can't have black people in Sacramento and the Capitol. So they passed legislation. It backfired against the Black Panthers because they were protesting. They was like, we can't have legislation in reference to this. So what they did is they turned around and said, look, we're going to back a legislation. And here's another picture of the Black Panthers, with guns on their hips, rifles and all that. They're protesting, about 30 men outside the Capitol. Boy, they scared a lot of white people. A lot of white people were very afraid in reference to this. And, and it just goes to show you how right now the NRA is making, dealing with Philander Cristel. They were very quiet on that. They were very, very quiet on that. But let me show you, not only since the 60s, let me show you this information here, because this was so important. Let me bring it on the screen here. It says in the 1920s and 30s, the NRA supported restrictions on who carry guns on the streets in order to decrease hostility towards European immigrants who were known to openly carry weapons at the time within our country. I hope you guys got all of that, what I just said. In order to decrease hostility towards European immigrants. Hear the word immigrants? First of all, it shows you they ain't come here. They had to come here. So there was hostility towards them. And they wanted to decrease that. Guys, you tell me, doesn't it appear that, in your opinion, that the NRA has a history of protecting white people with guns? Because guns is not the issue for the NRA. It's who has the gun that has the issue, right? Right? Because right now, if you notice, there's a lot of people who don't look like me who are out there with guns. They're the ones who have it. And so you see the NRA backing it. So here's my question. What if black people start marching out in the street with open carry, with guns? You think legislation would change then? You tell me what y'all think. You think legislation would change? You think people would be afraid? Because surely folks right now are like, it's my right. But what if you have 100 black men and women marching down the street, and Latinos and minorities marching down the street, walking around with AK-47s and with whatever? What if you have that? What will happen? I don't know. Food for thought, guys. Thank you again for joining. I appreciate it. Take care of yourself. And if you want to help me, consider being a patron. I would love for your support, just as little as $2 a month, that you can help me. Thank you, guys. Take care of yourself. God bless.